So I finally have something to make a substantial video with. And this is probably the hardest part is, like I just so said, is when you press that button, you hit the floor even though you have everything crashing around inside your head. Really. So the thing that even is, like, I'm one of those people that if you know I'm having the worst day ever, I have this stupid innate ability to be perspective. And I hate it in one respect and love it in another. But this video I'm calling Stand By Your Trans Man. I work with a lot of trans folk. Not a lot of trans women. It's just not by choice, but because I just don't have a lot of exposure to them. Most of my inner circles are of the other descent, and so it's not because of a lack of. It's just I don't really know a lot of people. But I started YouTubing primarily for a lot of my own personal stuff. Because it was enough reading. I love to read, but enough reading is enough reading, and you can only really do so much without actually seeing it tangibly. And it wasn't really until full swing when I was trying to help, one of my closest friends that I really got hooked on seeing the perspectives of the world. And I think it's helped soothe a lot in me. It's helped gain me better perspectives. It's really helped me become who I am. Excuse me. And all my changes, because they may not be medical at the moment, they may not be physical, but they're inside, I've learned a lot about being comfortable with that, with myself, and when I look in the mirror, you know, if I do decide to take any great leaps, I realize that I may not have the support of some people, but I will have the support of others. And the most important person I need the support of is me. So really, when I strip down for that shower, I really want to love what I see and be in awe of it. So that's my own thing. So I find when you're supporting someone going through transition, you really have to just take your opinion and put it on the back burner, because it's not about you, it's about them. And all the things going on inside their head. They may do things that you're like, what are you doing? But in their mind, they're doing what's right, and they're going through this and fitting into their skin. They're realizing all the trouble that they have to go through to even get from the decision-making process to these appointments, to this, to that. And then the day comes is where they're sitting there staring at this little vial, and it's all there. There is the next stage of their life. And the deciphering of, does my masculinity come from this or this? And I see it very plain and basically. So it's made me take a step back. So when I am fielding things or I'm supporting them, I realize I have to establish a trust. I have to be able to have them trust me with things that they may not want to talk about, or things that they feel that they can't, that they're not going to get the understanding. So I've had to really learn to be quite unbiased and make sure that things like my research is absolutely valid. That I am going to stand by them and help them, and even from like administering their testosterone and their screamership needles to making sure that their name is being pronounced properly in the world. You know, being there when they're not there, and some people are doing things that are kind of cruel and unacceptable, that they're sitting there with a bit tongue and also going, it's not your life, it's theirs, and this is the way that they feel, so let them be that way. Because, your whole scope just changes from being like comfortable to go working out before to not being able to, because the dysphoria comes into it, and then it starts to sort of take them over, because now things are changing. There is some stereotypes that tend to grab onto. They have to deal with the rest of their life. They don't know, effects, and like I would know, being in that position, that wow, that would do my head in. that this is so foreign territory. Like, when I get this body I am so desiring, is it going to be enough? Will I change my mind? There's no black and whites anymore, but not like there ever really was. We, and trying to make sure that they're not going from another box to an even smaller box. Do they live their life out? Do they live their life stealth? What do they do in male spaces? What do they do in female spaces? That aspect I don't really know, because I can still blend in with both. I'm just still, Rain, which is taking hold of one aspect of my own identity. But even from, the younger ones that I see to some of the older ones, that you can't really say that, this is going to be right, or this is going to be right, or I read this. You have to be like, present it to them, like, you might want to take a look at this. You might want to try this. You want to be there for them when it hurts. You want to be there for when they're happy. You want to be there when they're excited because their facial hair is growing in. You want to be there for them to be realistic with them. And I think that above all, that's the realist. You have to be kindly realistic, or else, then you become just another problem. And that's the one thing that you really want to avoid being, and standing for them. And when you really lay that promise down that you're going to be there for them, you fucking are there for them, above all. Whether you're having a bad day or they're having a bad day. I mean, I've had some pretty shitty days, and I realized I can never take it out on them. I could never stand for that on the other side, so why could I? And making sure that when I'm going in, that even my stresses of the day get left aside. Especially things like days that I'm giving them their shot. That my hand is steady, my mind is steady, and I am doing what I said and helping them. Not taking what's pissing me off and making that now a vice for things then. I mean, the guys that I've been helping, I love them dearly, like brothers. I never really realized how much, so because I do love them so much. And it's true love, you don't really know until one day it kind of hits you like a ton of bricks and you stop and think about it. And then you realize what the nature of it is. That, you love them like your family. And they are thus. And I put a lot of time and effort in for them because I want them to make that decision, whatever it may be, clear. And I just don't want to see, above all, I don't want to see any more, no more pain, no more tears, no more sorrow. I want to see them happy. Not for my own benefit. I mean, I get mine knowing that, my best friend or someone close that has entrusted me with anything is getting the top-notch care that I can give them from what they ask. And in myself, as a friend, as someone, as a bartender, listen to all their problems, or be able to go with them to appointments and be there to comfort and calm them, or be excited with them because they get to see a new light, a new chest someday. That is one that they really want to see, and then yeah, just affirm who they are. That's really what it is. As long as with one catches, it just feeds down the line. But to end this one, I might have to put a little more thought. This stuff is pretty raw, and I apologize profusely out there if I come off repetitive or say something stupid, but I like to take this and put it in there all the time, so my mistake, foot and mouth disease. But yeah, to close this, I say when you're supporting someone that's going through any stages of transition, whether it's going through all the beginning stuff right up through the hormone therapy to surgery, you realize you got to take your opinion and really put it back and only pull it out when you know that safety line is getting crossed for them. Which, if they entrust you with it, that's what all the people that I deal with and all my friends and all of my loved ones that are going through this, they have asked me so they're kept in check too, making sure that it doesn't get carried away, that they are doing it safe, sound, and conscious. And yeah, that they one day they will look back and they'll have it, just to the extent that they can obtain. So all you guys on YouTube, Keep them coming. Keep feeding me that information. Keep feeding the world that information. Because this is the one space now where you all have visibility and you're not alone. Because I really don't feel very alone, and I've been on YouTube for a bit. I may not be the world's biggest video poster, but I try. I really do try. And I'm going to keep trying. Hopefully not around a bad day. But, you know, I support every one of you, and I'll watch your videos. And thank you for letting me be privy to your lives. Because it's helping other people. Sometimes you just don't know it until someone says it. Or just you hear a whisper on the wind. Alright guys, I've babbled enough, and I'm gonna go make some dinner now, so I hope everyone is well, and see you around. Thanks.